everybody. Thanks for coming out. Open mic at the Eclipse. First act tonight is Dan Fritchie. Funny guy, good friend. He might have had a baby.
Thank you, Smitty Jones, for that overly enthusiastic welcome. It's great to be here. There's no more snow on the streets. Yes! Woo! You know, the whole time that the snow was on the streets, it's like I didn't hear anybody complain about how bad the roads were. Probably because that's the smoothest our streets have ever been. Now we're all going to join together and start bitching about the potholes again. It's going to be brilliant. I was snowed in, because of the two snowstorms we had, I was snowed in for a total of 7 days. And I got to tell you, if I ever have to heat up another can of soup and then wander around my apartment for an hour, trying to find a Wi-Fi signal, somebody's going to fucking die. That's... Oh. While I was snowed in, I tried to take it upon myself. I wanted to make my way through my DVD collection, because I had that kind of time. But I was trying to make it interesting by watching, every movie that I watched had to have a co-star in common with the previous movie that I saw. I was playing like like a meta version of the Kevin Bacon game. But I got about 7 movies in and I got stuck on Enter the Dragon. And it was like I didn't have any other Bruce Lee films, and it was just like I was stumped for a couple of hours, and I remembered that Jackie Chan was a stuntman on that movie, and I never thought in my entire life the movie Rush Hour would be my saving grace, but it led to Fifth Element, which led to, frickin', Die Hard, and the game was back on track. But I got through all that, and then I started doing this thing. I've got a 5-disc DVD changer at home, and it has the most brilliant feature ever: a shuffle button. I can put in 2 completely different movies, hit shuffle, and watch them like mashed together as one really long movie. It was great. Like that one day that I was watching Harry Potter and the Temple of Doom. Ferris Bueller's Dog Day Afternoon. Rocky Horror Picture Showgirls got a little bit weird. By far the weirdest one was Porky's List. But in Porky's and Schindler's List, it was really weird. It's like the shower scenes from both movies linked up. A bunch of guys peeping in on a bunch of Jews getting gassed. That was weird. By far my favorite is Willy Wonka and the Shawshank Redemption. Just to hear that Morgan Freeman narration, I'm like, I wish I could tell you that Andy fought the good fight. And the Oompa Loompas let him be. But the chocolate factory is no fairy tale world. Oh, getting back to the snowstorm, the weird thing, the best thing about the whole snowstorm is that you could tell all of the people who were here during the big ice storm 3 years ago, because these are the people that this time, they had their shit together. You'd walk into Reese's, they'd be the ones going like, okay, we need stuff for sandwiches, we need stuff to make a big pot of chili, we need 2 DVD rentals, we're going through the self-checkout link, get me a carton of smokes, we're in, out, 5 minutes, done. That was freaking great. But that last ice storm, man, is like, I learned a very valuable lesson, because it's like, I lost power for 9 days. That taught me something very important about myself, is that I learned exactly how long I could live without power. About 45 minutes. 45 minutes of playing a little handheld video poker game by candlelight before I went, fuck it, I'm going to Barnes & Noble. But I saw that storm was coming. I decided to batten down the hatches. I went to the grocery store and I stocked up, and I made my biggest mistake. I bought nothing but microwave dinners. And I lost power. And I was thinking, oh crap, not only can I not cook these things, but they're just going to spoil. But then I had this brilliant idea. My freezer is at like 25 degrees. Outside, it's 16. I could just put this shit out on the porch. But I live downtown. in the morning, all those fucking things were gone. And I wasn't so much pissed off that they were stolen, it's just that out there somewhere there was a bum with a working microwave and I didn't have it. As a comic, one of my, this is not entirely uncommon for comics, but I'm kind of a news junkie. I read a lot of news, watch a lot of news on TV, stuff like that. A lot of comics do that so they can have really topical material. That's not exactly my thing. I like to look for the weird stories. Just stories that at one point the reporter has to say something that just makes me go, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, here's the thing. I read a story last week. A woman in Minnesota was being charged with animal cruelty. Why was she being charged with animal cruelty? Because she was trying to send a puppy to her son for his 11th birthday. Tried to mail a puppy. But that wasn't the weird part. The weird part was the reporter said that not only does she not think she did anything wrong, but she is demanding a refund on her postage and she wanted the puppy back. It's like, lady, it's the post office, not layaway at Kmart. But I love stories like that. It was like a couple of years ago, I read about a couple in New Jersey who were pissed off that their local bakery refused to put their son's name on his birthday cake. Because the boy's name, and I'm not making this shit up, kid's name is Adolf Hitler Campbell. There's a 5-year-old boy in New Jersey named after the fucking Fuhrer. And the best part about the article is the reporter, it was a quote from the father. The father said, and I quote, "All we're looking for is a little tolerance." I just imagine that moment where the child is born and they're just going like, oh, look at him, he's so perfect, so innocent. What do you want to name him? I say we named him after the Fuhrer. You can't help but feel bad for that kid, you know? Having to grow up in New Jersey. Oh yeah, and then there's the Hitler dude. I guarantee you one of two possible outcomes for that kid. Either he's going to change his name when he turns 18, or he's going to go on a murderous rampage after Pizza Hut hangs up on him for the 50th time. Like, yeah, I'd like a large Supreme thin crust. My name? Adolf Hitler. Hello? Ah, son of a bitch! Or my favorite story of all time, my favorite article of all time, I've got it printed off, it's above my computer. There's two park rangers, a couple of years ago, 2 park rangers in Yellowstone National Park were fired, then arrested after they got caught taking turns urinating into Old Faithful.
Yeah.
Now, I've been bored at work before, but nothing to this level. I mean, but here's the best part about the article. The reporter felt it was necessary to explain that Old Faithful was not erupting at the time. Like, no shit. If it had, that would have been a completely different story. It would have been like 2 park rangers found dead after challenging Mother Nature to a pissing contest. Watching the news last week, I couldn't help but notice it was like the big news story. Egypt is now a sort of democracy. It's kind of a good thing. Yeah. I was waiting for that whole situation to stabilize so I can actually write a relevant joke about it. It was like it was changing all the time. I couldn't write anything about it. But now that it's kind of down there, the whole revolution in Egypt was sparked and fueled by posts on Facebook and Twitter. That's freaking awesome.